Shalom, Yabba Shem Yahweh Shah Brakatah to the brothers, Shalom Shemar Alathan by Shem Yahweh Shah to the sisters. This is I.S.U.P.K Atlanta Tuesday Brotherhood class. You understand? But today's topic is a man shall rule over his woman, man. You understand? It's all throughout the Bible, and that's the order that the Lord set up. You understand? So we're going to get some verses proving that that's how the Lord want things ran in the world, especially in his nation, in the Israelites. You understand? Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. So before we get into today's topic, anybody got any questions? Go ahead.
Well, watch it, sir. I mean, it's actually on your topic. Just a simple question of, would it be better if a brother were in the, obviously, I'm answering my own question. It would be better for a brother to be in the truth, to have multiple wives, than outside of the truth. So should they wait before they do that?
Well, I mean, yeah, you definitely should wait, you know what I mean, before you decide that you want to get multiple wives. You know what I mean? If you in the world, like, you can do it, you know what I mean? But in the world, if you in the world, you understand, you going by the Bible, but do you really go by the Bible? You know what I mean? But you in the world, you probably, you know, people in the world, they be into smoking weed, you know what I mean, threesomes, all types of stuff like that, you know what I mean? So you definitely want to clean yourself up coming to the school and, you know what I mean, shed yourself for the world, and then you'll be more equipped to handle it. I mean, now, if you're in the world, you can't stop them from doing it, you know what I'm saying? They can do it, but it definitely would be more better for you to come into the school first, shed yourself for the world, and then you'll know how to deal with that. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Right. Well, for that, also with that, Salaki, if I may, sir, it also would seem that, I know when I talk to brothers, when that part comes out, a lot of brothers, of course, they're for that.
Right.
They won't know anything and say, hold on, what was that scripture again? What was that about having multiple wives? That's what they hear.
Right.
And I think that giving that understanding and that breakdown to let them know so that you're doing this properly, that yes, you should definitely be within the truth, because if you're in the world, now you have some who do it and the woman doesn't care. A lot of them are pimping them, but then you have a lot who do it and they're players because they're lying about it. But of course, once you come into the truth, you don't have to do all those things. So
right.
I think it's just something that a lot of brothers need to understand before jumping into that.
Well, yeah, I mean, then, you know, in the world nowadays, you know what I mean, polygamy, if that's what you want to call it, is starting to be more widely accepted, whether you think, you know what I mean, or whether we believe it or not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, you still got, you know, some people who, I'll never be with it, but because relationships is so messed up in the world, like, you know what I mean, marriages is lasting a lot less longer. People not even getting married, you know what I mean? Like, polygamy is starting to be more of a normal thing in society because people just want to sleep around with whoever and do whatever. So, you know what I mean, especially like if a man, if, you know, brother, you know, reading the scripture, you trying to teach him, and you say something about multiple wives, like, yeah, he'll go on to that. But yeah, he not going on to, you know, other parts of the Bible where you can't eat pork. Or you can't, you know what I mean, sleep with another man's woman. You understand? Then, no, that brother shouldn't, you know what I mean, indulge in having multiple women. Because,
Right.
you know what I mean, you're not going to treat them according to how they should be treated, according to the Bible.
That's what I was looking for, sir. Right.
You know what I mean? The Bible also say not only can you have multiple women, but there's certain things that you got to do for these multiple women. You understand? And chances are that brother's not going to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's looking for just, you know what I mean, to do whatever he want to do. You understand? Anybody else got any other questions? Is anybody else that called in on the line? All right, no sweat. Well, we're going to go into today's topic. Give me Genesis 3 and 16. We're going to start there. All right, go ahead. No sweat. Just let me know when you got it. When you got it, you can just start reading.
Come on, the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Right. Now, why did this happen? You know what I mean? So we can get a context on the story. I know most of us know. But why did this happen? Why did he say that to the woman? Like, what's going on right now in the story, or why the Lord is telling the woman this?
Salaki, Ottawa.
Go ahead.
he telling the woman that about that verse right there, verse 16, because she went against the Most High and listened to somebody other than her husband. Why?
Right, you understand? Meaning that, I mean, we all know the story about, the tree, eating from the tree of life, and then the serpent, which we know is not talking about an actual tree, nor is it talking about a snake. You know what I mean? But, the spirit of the white man came to the woman to get her to follow a doctrine contrary to what the Lord taught, Adam and what Adam taught her. You know what I mean? She took she listened to the doctrine, went back to Adam and gave him the doctrine. To where now they serving somebody else's culture and not what the Lord gave them. Just like how we do today. You know what I mean? We serve the so-called oppressors culture. You know what I mean? We serve China culture, the Middle Eastern culture, everything but the Lord. You know what I mean? That's what we serve. It's just like today. That's what will happen. But first, serpent went to the woman. So the Lord, giving them a punishment to what happened. This is what he said to the woman first. Read it from the top again.
Come on, the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Right, what does that mean?
So, like I said,
go ahead.
If I may, multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. The conception is in the childbirth.
Right.
And thy sorrow, I guess, meaning they will multiply their sorrow, meaning they'll stay in turmoil or stay.
Okay, give me more though. Like when you say and they'll be in turmoil, like what do you mean?
The sorrow, meaning they will constant, a constant battle.
About between what?
Or between her and her husband.
Somebody else want to give it a shot? We got somebody else that called in?
Swat you, sir. Young man, Erskine checking in.
Okay, how you doing, warrior? You doing Tawab?
Going to Wab, sir.
All right, Most High in Christ. We at Genesis 3 and 16. Somebody said Salakia?
Khan no Khan. I don't want Khan. This Trooper call one checking in.
All right, Chubakar, Shalom, Lord in Christ. How you doing, warrior?
Shalom on Christ. I'm Tawab, by the one. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing Tawab. We at Genesis 3 and 16. Read it from the top again.
Come on, Khan. The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Keep going. Read that next part.
Come on, Khan. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
Right. So now we know the conception is childbearing, having the child. So what does it mean with the, greatly multiply thy sorrow?
Slakia, sir, if I may, increase her pain.
Right. It'll increase the pain, man. You know what I mean? Meaning that she's going to have pain when she brings forth a child. You understand? Now, anybody know why the Lord did that? Like, what is the significance of the Lord making a woman go through pain in delivering children?
Slakia, sir, if I may,
Go
would that
ahead.
be for punishment?
Okay,
Would
it's
that
a
be for
punishment.
Son?
It's a punishment, right? But when you get punished, a punishment is supposed to do what? It's supposed to make you, what I mean? It's supposed to keep you from, doing it again. But there's a purpose behind punishment. Like, okay, we in captivity, right? That was our punishment for going against the Lord. You understand? But our punishment is seeing that being with another nation is not better than being under the Lord. You understand? Right. So what was the purpose of her going through these pains? Go ahead.
Would that be symbolic of, would that be symbolic of her going through the pain of childbirth would be us going through the pain of...
No, her going through pain in childbirth is supposed to make her remember that she needs her man, that she should be under her man. You understand? That she can't, do whatever she want to do or be by herself. See if he all right. You understand? That's the symbolic of her going through pain. You know what I mean? Making sure she knows that she's supposed to be under her man, that she's supposed to reverence her man. that she's supposed to submit to her man. Because when a woman going through pain, went through these pains, who is there to help them? Most of the time, it's the husband. You understand? Keep going with that.
Come on, God. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
Right, and thy desire shall be to their husband. What does that mean, that their desire is to be towards the husband? That means that what the husband want, that's what you should do, long as it's lawful. Now, you can't do nothing unlawful, you know what I mean? We all know that. But long as it's lawful, whatever your husband want, if your husband want to move somewhere, or, you know what I mean, whatever he want, then that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? But if your husband want a certain type of food this day, you should cook it. Meaning that the Lord put the woman under the man, man. The Lord told the woman that she needs to serve her man, that he needs to be over you. You understand? Because when a woman tries to get over a man, what happens? They'll end up listening to the serpent and destroying the nation, man. You understand? Keep going.
Come on, verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife.
Oh no, you was at the bottom. After you said that, yeah.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
Right, meaning that the desire a woman's desire shall be to her husband. She should look to please her husband, man. That's what her purpose is, to make sure she please her husband, not to please other women out there, or not to be doing none of that petty stuff, but to make sure she pleasing her husband. Go ahead.
Come on, God. And he shall rule over thee.
Right, and it said that he shall rule over. It didn't say the woman shall rule over the man. You understand? There's a reason why the Lord did this. You understand? Because if a woman was over a man, guess what? A woman would be being the weaker vessel. She'll be more susceptible to an attack. You know what I mean? And compromise, or change, or just lose. You understand? Like the serpent, which we know as today is Esau, right? He's going to first go to the woman to trick the woman, man. He's not going to go to the man and fight the man straight up. Because a man is like your best challenge. It's like putting your best fighter out there is the man. He's going to go to the woman. He wants you to put the woman on the front line.
Right.
So that's why the woman can't be over a man, because if a woman is wearing the pants in a relationship, or if a woman is, the man in the relationship, then that's going to be a relationship that's easily could be destroyed. You know what I mean? Even if it comes to protecting the house. Like, let's say if the woman was the protector. That's how that house is easier able to succumb than a man protecting the house. You understand? And that's why the Lord said that the woman got to be under the man. That's because the serpent went to the woman to get the woman to go. And then that was her downfall. You know what I mean? She wanted to be over the man. That's how, if we read how the serpent tricked the woman, how did the serpent trick the woman? What did he say to her? Go ahead.
It's like he told her surely she would die.
Yeah, he told her surely she wouldn't die, but there's more to it. Go ahead, Carwan.
He said that you'll be like God, like you'll get power too.
Right, you understand? Meaning that he offered her power, man. You know what I mean? He offered her equality, saying that you'll be equal to Adam. You know what I mean? You'll be equal. That's what he offered her. It's the power of, wanting to be over a man. You understand? And she, that's what black women do today. They want to be over their man. It's the same spirit, man. And that causes the black community to look like how the black community looks.
Right.
Because they don't want to have things in order. They don't want to follow the order. You understand? So this is why the Lord did this to the woman, man. Go ahead.
And they be in that serpent spirit too, with that deceptive and trying to be slick spirit.
I mean, right, exactly, man. But that's the doctrines that they learned from Esau, man, because that's how he is. You understand? But like I said, that's a reason why the Lord put the man over the woman, because when the man is over the woman, you have a stronger nation, man.
Right.
You can't easily just take down a house or destroy a people when the man is ruling. You understand? But in this part right here, it say that, this was done by the woman, but is the man not at fault for this? Like, what did the man do wrong? Like, keep reading. As a matter of fact, hold 1 second. Keep reading.
Come on, verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree, Salakia, of which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life.
Right, you understand? Meaning that Adam also got punished too. What was Adam wrong in doing this? Like, what was the wrong in Adam doing? Go ahead.
He listened to her. If I met her.
Right, he said, Carwan said that he listened to her. Go ahead, young man. Salaki, damn. Go ahead, Trooper Yahweh Yadai.
Trooper Gashan.
Oh, Trooper Gashan, okay. Go ahead. Y'all be sounding just alike, man. You know y'all blood related.
Hey. For sure.
Go ahead, Trooper Gashan.
I was gonna say for that split moment, he stopped being the head. He quit being the head. He let her lead him to do something that he knew the Most High told him that not to do.
Right, exactly, man. Exactly. Y'all both was right. That's absolutely right, man. You understand? Meaning that it's a man's duty to be over his house, man. You understand? That's why the hell with the Christian church that pacifies a man and allows a woman to rule over them, man. You know, that whole happy wife, happy life thing? That's not according to how the Lord wanted. Because Adam wrong was listening to the woman. You know what I mean? When the woman did that, Adam was supposed to check her, man. Right. You know, Adam was like, you know damn well we're not supposed to be doing this. You know what I mean? That's what Adam was supposed to do. But Adam listened to her. So that lets you know that if you have your woman over you and you comfortable with your woman being over you and you being a man, then you're not in the right, man. You understand? You're not doing what the Lord required you to do, which is to rule over her, man. You doing her a bad service. You know what I mean? You letting her destroy herself along with you. You understand? So it goes both ways, man. You know what I mean? Woman, you can't have a masculine spirit on you to want to be over your man. You know what I mean? Want to tell your man what to do. Want to always be at war and battling with your man. You understand? And as a man, you can't be having a feminine spirit and allowing your woman to rule over you or to control you or to tell you what to do. You know what I mean? That's emasculating, man. You understand? And your children, when you have children grow up and see that. You understand? They see the man is emasculine and they see the woman is masculine, and that destroys a child, man. You know what I mean? They're not learning how a relationship should be. You understand? And that's part of the reason why the black community is destroyed. And it starts from the beginning. It's in Genesis. Go ahead.
It's so heavy what you're bringing out of one because, unfortunately, I've seen this in my own house. Now, not when I was younger, but more so now as my parents are older. You know, my parents are both 70. But in the last, I'm gonna say 15 years, just the wickedness. Now, my mother's always been wicked from what I've seen. But in the last 15 years, for him trying to just avoid arguments, he bows down. And now being in the truth, even reading this, honestly, I tell you, it angers me. I get raged from reading it because I'll see her talking to him or telling him, what did I say? Didn't I tell you to do this? And I'm like, who the hell are you talking to?
Right.
And he will listen to it. And when I talk to him, I don't try to browbeat him anymore, but I just say, you know, that's just not the way it's supposed to go. But, you know, he's 70 years old, and when I'm looking at it, like, you know, if the Most High wants to deal with him, he will, but this is his lot right now. This is what it is. This is what he's going to deal with because he's allowed this to go on for so long to where she literally has a masculine spirit on her, and her and I, we clash. Mm-hmm. We clash because the spirit that's on her knows what I'm about, knows that, you know, hey, the truth is here. So it's just, it angers me because I see it every single day.
Right, and that's what happens, man. You know because most of the time these women, they go to the Christian church. You know what I mean? That pastor put the spirit on them, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? The pastor tells them that it's okay for them to have that masculine spirit to be over their man. You understand? So you gotta look at it from a man's point. A man's point, sometimes men don't always want to argue. Right. That's not to say that he's right. You know what I mean? Because he's not supposed to submit. You're not supposed to submit yourself. But what happens is you find a woman that always want to argue, and then you're a man and you don't really want to argue. You know what I mean? Sometimes men they walk away from this. They don't. You know what I mean? Because it's pointless to argue sometimes. Right. But if you got a relationship like that, sometimes you got to argue. You have to. You understand? Because what'll end up happening is, like you said, she'll think that she's over you, and then you'll find yourself just doing stuff to please her, and that's not the way the relationship's supposed to go, man.
Right.
You understand? That's why it's on both people. The woman got to get in line. The woman got to realize that you destroying your household. You know what I mean? You destroying your son. You destroying your children. You destroying everything. Your daughter, all that. You know what I mean? It's not just about you. You're destroying your nation when you do that. But if a man finds himself in a situation like that, guess what? You're gonna have to every time. Look, that's just the relationship that you in. You know what I mean? You dealt with the sister, so you can't leave her. You know what I mean? Unless you commit adultery, of course. So you're just gonna have to keep arguing. You're just gonna find yourself in a time relationship where you gotta constantly argue.
Right.
You understand? And that's just what it is, because you can't allow a woman to be over you, man. You understand? Because you're not gonna be able to raise up your children. You know what I mean? You're not even gonna know what it is to be a brother, man. You know what I mean? Think about like in that situation that you explained, and you know, a brother's in that situation. He try to come to the school, and a woman tell him, "Don't be hanging around no brothers too late." You know what I mean? You taking your ass home. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you can't even be a brother like that when you got your woman ruling over you like that. You understand? So you're absolutely right. Give me matter of fact, give me Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha 25 and 24.
Final the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 25, verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin.
Right. It said of the woman came the beginning of sin. What is that? What is that talking about?
Salakia.
Go ahead.
Eve's disobedience.
Right. Meaning that sin came in from Eve going against the Lord in the beginning, man. That was the first sin. You know what I mean? When Eve had won against the Lord and listened to the serpent, listened to the so-called, which is now our so-called oppressor, Esau, man, the spirit of Esau. You understand? And it goes into today, man. You mean that goes on right now? That happens today, man. When a woman has that spirit on her, she's doing the bidding of our oppressor, man. That's how you destroying your nation.
Right.
You understand? That women don't know. They think in their mind that they're being independent or that they being tough or, you know what I mean, that they guarding themselves or, you know, whatever the hell they think about when they doing that. But they not realizing that you have a demon on you that's doing the bidding of our oppressor, man. You understand? That's like, women will have that demon on them, and they'll think that they'll be able to raise their children up or do, you know what I mean, do whatever the hell they think they can do still, you know what I mean, righteously. You having that spirit on you, you're going to destroy that child, man. You're going to destroy him because you're doing the bidding of our oppressor, man. The oppressor wants you to do that. You following after the white man. You understand? You have no fight in you. You're not fighting against it. You just being susceptible and swallowed up by it. You understand? You about to say something?
Kind, sir. I believe an appropriate name, if I may, to give to that spirit that a lot of black women operate in, and they normally don't use this word until they're talking to a black man, is I'm a strong black woman.
Right, yeah, they think out of their minds they're a strong black woman. You know what I mean? That they're not gonna allow no man to get over on them or rule over them. You understand? That's wicked, man. That's not cute. You know what I mean? A lot of women think that it's cute to have that type of spirit on them. You know what I mean? Or I'm hard to deal with. It's not cute to be hard to deal with, man.
Right.
You understand? That's not setting up this nation. Go ahead.
What you just said is so heavy to the fact of, the black woman, Hispanic woman, Native American woman, they'll say, that the other races, the women from the other races, they get treated well by their men, but they fail to realize that their women are submissive to them. You see what I'm saying? Where it is with our women, they don't want to be submissive. They want to be in total control.
Right, and it's heavy that you said that because that's what all the other nations, all the other nations know that the woman need to be submissive to the man. You understand? Now, when it comes to America, it gets a little weird because America is such a wicked place. But it's naturally understood that, you know what I mean, if you go to Arab countries, they women, covered all the way up, they better listen to their man. You know what I mean? Even in Asia, you know what I mean? It was one in Asia where the men always walk in the front and the woman will walk behind them. You understand? That's showing a submissive role. Like the man is the leader. You understand? In all other cultures, you'll see that. You understand? But when it comes to black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, like the brother said, the so-called oppressor put it in them to have a feminist spirit. You know what I mean? A masculine spirit to be over the man because he knows that it's easy to destroy the black people like that, man.
Right.
It's easier to destroy that whole black community by putting her in charge. Because she don't know what the hell she doing, man.
Right.
She don't know how the hell to be in charge. You understand? So that's absolutely right. Read that from the top again.
Come on, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 25, verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin.
Right, meaning that the first sin was Eve listening to the serpent, man. Eve listening to Esau, man. The black, Hispanic, and Native American listening to the so-called white man today.
Right.
You understand? That same spirit, that same sin that's going on today was the first sin, man. You understand? Keep going.
Come on, and through her, we all died.
Right, and that's the reason why everybody died now, man. That's the reason why you see black, Hispanic, and Native Americans getting killed now. You understand? Now that's not to put all of that on the woman. That's the man too, man. The man, that means that you can't allow your woman to rule over you, man, in no simple way or fashion. You understand? You cannot allow your woman to rule over you. Now, if you got certain things that you know what I mean, like, that's not to say, okay, a woman can't, you know what I mean, be in control of the money. You know what I mean? Let's say if, you know, you put her over that because she's real good with it. You know what I mean? That's a field that she's really good at, financing and stuff like that. Yeah, you can do that. That's not what it's saying. But you can't allow your woman to rule you, to tell you what to do. You know what I mean? To be over the household. You can't, man. You understand? Because that's the reason why black, Hispanic, and Native Americans is in this condition. You understand? The woman had the spirit to want to be over the man, and the man allowed it to happen.
Right.
You understand? You got to challenge it, man. You know what I mean? As for sisters, you can't want to rule over your man. You shouldn't want to even be at combat with your man. You know what I mean? It don't matter how mad you might be or whatever the hell you're going through, you should never have a spirit of wanting to challenge him or wanting to go against him. It doesn't benefit you. It doesn't benefit you. You understand? There in no way, even if you were to win and you over him, it don't benefit you because you're destroying everything else, man. You understand? Drop that. Matter of fact, give me Mark 3:27. Because a misconception is women think in their mind that when they in control or when they have the power, that is benefiting them, that they feel empowered and a strong, like you said, a strong black woman. You understand? But it's absolutely the opposite of that, man. You understand? You want to know why children is being killed? I mean, our sons out there selling drugs and being killed? It's because of that, man. That's the main problem. You understand? Because a lot of men these days, what they leaving a woman, man. It's not in a man's spirit to naturally just want to be emasculated, man. You understand? So what did he end up doing? He ended up leaving the woman. He ended up like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna find some other woman. Now that's wrong. It's still wrong to do that. You understand? But you gotta understand that's the problem of why children is getting raised up without their fathers, man. Whereas if the woman is submitted to the man, you know what I mean? As long as he's doing right, like I said, he can't just be out there doing whatever the hell he want to do. You know what I mean? Not listening to the Lord. You understand? But if the woman were to submit to the man, then you will realize that black families will be in abundance. You know what I mean? Black families will be being raised up right. The children will be successful and not have to worry about going on the street and selling drugs, man. You understand? Go ahead, read that when you got it.
Come on, the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house. Right.
No man can enter into a strong man's house, man. This is a scripture that shows you what's going on in the black community, man, and why it's destroyed. You understand? Think about it. It said no man can enter into a strong man's house unless he what? Go ahead.
Come on. And spoil his goods.
What does it mean to spoil his goods?
To spoil his wife.
Okay, this could be a lot of meanings, but you know, you can say spoil his wife, but it say spoil his goods. Give me a little bit more. Go ahead, somebody says Salaki online.
It's like spoil men, you know, spoilers like the spoilers of war. Like take his goods, rob him, type of thing, like take things that's valuable to him.
Right, I like that. Take things that's valuable to him, because it could be, you know, money, or, you know, it could be like robbing his house, like, you know, spoiling his goods. But what also could it be?
So, like,
go ahead.
Could it be destroying his house?
Okay, yeah, it's destroying his house, but what do you mean by, give me more on destroying his house?
subject that we on tonight, like having it in chaos, out of order, not just like material things, but like the whole order of his house.
Right, exactly, man. You understand? Meaning that it can also spoil the children, man. It can cause your children to be unruly, man, and unrighteous. You understand? You can't have that unless, guess what? Unless you bind the strong man. You understand? Keep reading that. Read it from the top again.
Come on, the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house.
Right. Nobody can enter into a strong man's house. Go ahead.
Come on, and spoil his goods.
And spoil his goods. That could be materials. That could be the order of his house, his children. Go ahead.
Come on, except you will first bind the strong man.
Right. Except you first bind the strong man. You got to destroy the man first, man. You understand? And how it's done on the black woman, on the black community, black, Hispanic, and Native American community, is putting the woman over the man. You understand? That binds the strong man. He's no longer in control of his house. You got to think about it like this. Just like how we was talking about, somebody came to rob your house, right? To just kick in your door and rob your house. It's harder to rob a house when the man is masculine and in control of his house, man. Or he's the leader of his house. Because now you're going to have to deal with another man. You're going to have to go toe-to-toe with another man. And you damn well might lose. If you're dealing with somebody in the I.S.U.P.K, a man of the Lord, you will lose.
Right.
You understand? But even if you just talk about in the world, when you got to deal with other men, there's a chance that you could lose. Now, on the flip side, if you bind that strong man and now the woman is in control, the woman is in charge, it's easier to take the house, man. It's easier to spoil it, man. You understand? Go ahead.
What you just said is so evil, so heavy, and what the Black Christian Church has done is so evil. You know, you got these beta males, these low life males. You know what I'm saying? You know, they submit to every whim of a woman. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they'll act all big and bad and tell a woman, you need to leave your man if he did that in the dirt. If he ain't paying no bill, he ain't cheating. If he cheating on you, did that dirt. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they bow down to their woman and try to beg her for forgiveness on whatever little wrong they do, but they like to act like the big bad wolf in the scene. You know what I'm talking about? Slap y'all the wolf.
Right, and you're absolutely right about that. You know what I mean? And what the pastors or the Christians do is they'll submit to their wife, but they'll tell another woman to leave her husband. You know why? Because they want to spoil that man's house. That's why. You understand? They know in their mind that, okay, if I can get rid of the man out the picture, they can have their way with the woman. You know what I mean? And that's what you'll see a lot is the Christian pastor sleeping with these women, man.
Right.
But he knows that he wouldn't be able to do that if there's a strong man in the house.
Right.
You understand? That's why you got to get rid of them first, man. This is like war 101, man. You know what I mean? Basic war tactics 101, man. You understand? You got to get rid of the man. And then once it's the woman and the children, you can come in and, you know what I mean? You can come in and replace them. You can come in and just do whatever you want. It ain't nobody to go against you. You understand? Esau knows this. Go ahead.
Just like I said, we've discussed this before, but one of those ways of putting the woman over the man, especially the woman over the black man, by binding him, is her putting the husband on child support. And basically what that does is, for a number of years, it keeps her over him. Because if he doesn't do it, he can go to jail. If he doesn't do it, he can't see his kids. So it automatically puts her in a place of strength over him just from that.
Right, you know what I mean? And like you said, child support is definitely a good one. But it also could just be giving the black woman a better job.
Right.
You understand? Now, you would think that, well, that shouldn't be, that shouldn't lead to, the destruction in the black community. But because of the mindset of our women and the music they listen to and what's perpetrated on them, you understand? They have a sense of when they get the better job, then okay, now they feel like they're better than the man, that they don't need no man. You know what I mean? They develop a proud masculine spirit. You understand? So it could be as simple as just giving them a better job. You know what I mean? What they say, that the stats today, the statistics today, is that black woman is like one of the most successful out of, all gender and races. The black woman is on top right now. You know what I mean? I know for a fact they the number one in college.
Right.
They the number ones that's going to college. You understand? As far as just being successful, like, having money and being out in the world, They damn near number one in that. You know, might be behind the Caucasian male, but they up there in the numbers of being successful. Black women. You understand? And this is not by some type of random miracle.
Right.
You understand? This is done on purpose, man. Go ahead.
And what you're saying is heavy on one because I was just about to say that there's a science to this. It's been set up that way. And what Yahanna was saying earlier, with our oppressor, the oppressor woman, she will submit to her husband even if he makes less money than her.
Right.
So for them to take the back seat of women who go to college, and it's the black women that's going to college more. The oppressor woman, she's taken care of by her oppressor husband. She's taken care of by him.
Right.
So it doesn't even matter to her to even be, number 2 or number 3 in that. Because number 1, she's going to listen to her husband even if he is sitting home playing video games. Even if he's just chilling doing nothing. I know a lot of Edomite men who don't work and their oppressor wives make 6 figures. And they listen to every single word he says.
And you know why? Because they know in their mind, once they keep that man in position, that they know that their race, their people is going to be empowered, man.
Right.
You understand? They know that, and that's what even with the election with Donald Trump, you know what I mean? A lot of women was speaking about feminists and women having rights and this, that, and the third, and Donald Trump went against Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton lost. You know what I mean? All that woman feminist talk, you could have sworn that Hillary Clinton was just going to win. It seemed like the clear-cut choice, right? But white women, when you look it up, Caucasian women, they voted for Donald Trump.
Right.
You know what I mean? They didn't vote for Hillary because they know what? They know that they need a man in authority, man.
Right.
And putting Donald Trump in authority, what did that do? That bringed out the white supremacy, man.
Right.
You understand? And that's ultimately what they want. They want white people to be on top. They want to have these benefits. They want to have white privilege. But they know that you'll get that having a man in charge, man. You understand? But like we were saying, black women, they on top now. They leading. And like I said, this is not by a miracle. This is not. Now, it's not to say that to try to put down and knock down the sisters like as if they not working hard, going to school, and doing all this. You know what I mean? But let's just be honest. We in America, man. You understand? It's hard for black people. We know that we are meant to stay on the bottom, but they'll give the black woman leeway because that puts the black woman over the man. You know what I mean? That's all they want. They want the black man to be at the bottom. You understand? Because that's how you keep that nation at the bottom, man.
Right.
You understand? Read it from the top again.
Count one time. The book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man.
Right. That's what had to be done first. Go ahead. Is it more?
Count one time. And then he will spoil his house.
Right. And then you can spoil the house, man. You have to get the black man out the picture. You understand? Even Esau knew this when it came to what was it? Section 8?
Right.
Welfare, man. You understand? It's in Section 8 welfare that you can't get. A woman cannot get Section 8 welfare if the man is living in the house, man.
Right.
He has to be out the house. You understand? You don't think that that's a design tactic?
Right.
You don't think that's a battle strategy to destroy black people? It's just a coincidence. You know what I mean? Oh, it's just the so-called oppressor or the so-called Caucasian man cares so much about black women that he was like, well, this is what we're going to do for you. No, man, he wants to destroy you, man. He knows it's easier to destroy the black woman if you just get rid of the man.
Right.
There's no opposition now. You understand? This is a known tactic, man. And black men, as us, black, Hispanic, Native American men, we have to understand this. We have to know this. And we can never allow ourselves to fall susceptible to a woman, man. To let a woman be in control of us. As a matter of fact, that goes into my next scripture. Give me Proverbs 31:3.
Count, sir.
Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 3. Give not thy strength unto woman.
Right. It says, give not your strength to a woman, man.
Right.
You understand? Now, we all know Proverbs 31. With Proverbs 31, it goes talk about a virtuous woman. Before that, it says to not give your strength to a woman, man. Why does it say to don't give your strength to a woman? Because it can lead to your destruction, man. What does it mean to give your strength to a woman? Let's explain that. Go ahead.
Salakia. Maybe trying to use an example would be a place where you are lying to your woman instead of telling her the truth because you're afraid of how she's gonna respond.
Oh, that's definitely a good one. You know what I mean? You should never lie to your woman. That don't mean that you gotta tell her everything. You know what I mean? Women get in their mindset that if you don't tell them, then you lying. That's not the case. Like if a woman asks you a question, you say, "Don't worry about it." You're lying to me? No, I ain't lying to you. I'm telling you, don't worry about it. But if you absolutely like blatantly lie to her, you know what I mean? Like for instance, she asks you if you got another woman, and you do, but you say no. Then yeah, you giving her your strength, man. Because when she find out, now you're allowing her to call you a liar. You understand? To tell you this. Now, if she asks you that if you got another woman, and you tell her don't worry about it, mind your damn business, that's not a lie. You know what I mean? They might try to equate it to being a lie. They'll say that, oh, you're not being honest with me. The Lord said that I ain't got to tell you everything. You know what I mean? Don't get those two confused. But you damn right. If you blatantly lie, like you tell a lie, then yeah, that'll be giving your strength to the woman. Somebody else said Salakia?
Salakia, I don't want, if I may, I wanted to ask about the last scripture you pulled about binding the strong man.
Oh, go ahead.
I had a precept that I was wondering if we could use, you know, talking about, because when you bind up the strong man, when another nation comes in to bind up the men of another nation, you know what I'm saying, that's warfare, correct?
Right, that's correct, man. You know what I mean? With another nation. Go ahead. Salaki.
Salaki, go ahead and finish your story.
Oh, no, you're too wild. Go ahead. You were still asking your question. Go ahead.
The water out of one, if I may. I wanted to know if we could use 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4, you know, to go along and precept behind that, you know, that bind up the strong man. Salaki.
All right, read it for me.
Come on. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds.
Okay.
And my question was,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
My question was to that was with binding up that strong man by another nation, you know, preying on the woman's mind. Could we use this scripture to, you know what I'm saying, like battle that spirit, that demon off, you know what I'm saying? Because that is, you know, that's basically what it is. It's a unclean spirit trying to defeat our home, you know what I'm saying? Salaki.
Okay, yeah, like these aren't precepts, but you know, the way you explain it, you definitely could use it. You know what I mean? Meaning when you see, you know, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. We know that, you know, the so-called oppressor trying to put the woman over us, that's not a physical weapon. You know what I mean? That's more of a spiritual thing. So you definitely could tie those two together like that. You know what I mean? Knowing that, okay, this is what we have to battle. You know what I mean? We don't need to worry about going and grabbing guns and you know what I mean, shooting the white man. That's not what we do. We allow our so-called oppressor to do that to themselves. What, just yesterday there was a mass shooting in Colorado?
Right.
Some dude grabbed an AR and killed like 10 people. You know what I mean? We allow the oppressor to fight himself with the carnal war, with the carnal weapons. Right. You understand? But we know that we're dealing with more of a spiritual warfare. And yes, you know, child support, having a woman over the man, that's spiritual, man. You know what I mean? That's something that we can change, that we need to change. And that's what we can do to fix the black community. So yeah, you could tie those two together like that.
The water out of one.
All right, no sweat. Where was we at?
Proverbs 31:3.
Go ahead.
Come on. Give not thy strength unto the woman.
Right, give not thy strength. That could be lying, man. That could be just allowing your woman to rule over you, man. You know what I mean? When you allow a woman to rule over you, you giving her your strength, man. Because those men, when you see a man that, you know what I mean, allows his woman to rule over you, see they have no strength left in them. You know what I mean? The woman is the one that has the strength. They feel weak and they just, you know what I mean, they look like a pushover, man. You're emasculated. You know what I mean? It's nothing that you can do to protect your nation, to fight for your nation. You understand? All you worried about is not arguing with your woman. You know what I mean? You're not worried about going out to battle and going out to warfare for your people. You worrying about not arguing with your woman. You know what I mean? You worrying about ways that you can avoid it. Right. You understand? No, man. We gotta fight for our people, man. You can't give your strength over to a woman. Somebody said Salaki online?
Salaki, I don't want, if I may, what you just said is so heavy, you know what I'm saying? And if, you know, if the black man, Hispanic man, Native American man, you know what I'm saying, would realize, you know what I'm saying, if we would just be strong, not to the point of, you're abusive to your woman, but be strong and show her the strength that's in you. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have to worry about giving your strength to her, because she's gonna see that you are for her, and not just for her, you for the nation, which is gonna benefit her. Salakia.
Right, you damn right. You know what I mean? You damn right. You understand? You gotta be, and obviously we know it's definitely not abusive. You know what I mean? You never want to be abusive towards your woman. You know what I mean? If she yelling and arguing, you can yell and argue back, but you don't want to, hit her or anything like that. That's not of the Lord. You understand? But you absolutely right, man. You got to stand up to her. You can't just let her. You can't just be weak. You understand? A woman sense that, man. Even if you arguing with a woman, you constantly arguing with you, it may seem as if she don't respect you because you constantly arguing, but she do. Trust me, it'll be a lot different if you just rolled over. You will see, damn, she really don't respect you then. You know what I mean? It'll be a lot different. So you got to stand up for yourself, man. You understand? Because you fight for yourself, her, and your children, and the nation, man. You understand? Drop that. Give me we gonna go to. We was just at Proverbs, right? Give me 1 Timothy 5 and 8. I like this one. Give me 1 Timothy 5 and 8. You understand? This is a scripture that the Christians like to tie up all the time, man. You know what I mean? Even fake Israelite groups use this scripture to tie up the truth. You know what I mean? To lie on the truth, to push whatever they want. You understand? This is a scripture that is heavily misused. Go ahead.
Come on, look at 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8. But if any provide not for his own.
Right, if any provide not for his own. Go ahead.
Come on. Especially for those of his own house.
Especially for those of his own house. Go ahead.
Come on. He hath denied the faith.
Mm-hmm.
And is worse than an infidel.
Right. What is an infidel? Go ahead.
It's an outsider, a person you're at war with.
No. Anybody know what an infidel? Go ahead.
Infidel is like something like a traitor. Salakia.
No. Go ahead.
The definition of infidel: a person who does not believe in religion or who adheres to religion other than his own.
Right, meaning an infidel is who? What would be an infidel in this case? So he just read the definition. This is someone who don't believe in religion. Now we know we don't use the word religion, right? You know what I mean? Or believe in someone that's other than his own. So what would be an infidel in this case? Go ahead.
Would that be the Christian pastor, Salakia?
Well, they damn sure will be an infidel, but we want to know the definition, of infidel. You know what I'm saying? Like in this context. Go ahead.
So like I said, I believe the infidel in this case is referring to the man.
Okay, yeah, this will definitely be referring to a man, but what makes him an infidel? Like, okay. I'm asking, like, what is an infidel? Well, you gave me the definition, right? So now in this case, it said you should be worse than an infidel. So what is it? What would be an infidel? You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Come on, sir.
They're like saying it's somebody that that's not going to adhere to the law, statutes, commandments, or the Most High. Basically, just follow the truth.
Right. It's someone who don't believe in the truth. You know what I mean? Like you listen. You call yourself. As a matter of fact, start from the top again.
Come on, the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 5, verse 8. But if any provide not for his own. Right. Especially for those of his own house.
Right, meaning that if you don't provide for your own. Now, what does Christians like to say that means? I know you know. Go ahead.
So basically, what the Christian is saying is that he isn't working, he isn't providing, he isn't taking care of the household.
Right, Christians like to equate this to financials.
Right.
You know what I mean? That you're not out there with a job and putting food on the table and working. They like to equate this to, a financial aspect. Is this what it's talking about?
Lie, sir.
This is not what it's talking about. Go ahead.
So, sir, what this is talking about by the man providing for his household is him providing the truth.
Right.
To his home.
Right. And how do we know that that's correct? In this verse, how do you know that is correct? What you said is absolutely right, but how do you know that that's correct?
Because it's saying that he denied the faith.
Right, and go ahead, and it said that he's an infidel.
Come on.
So put them together. Meaning that You understand? It's saying that he's an infidel. Go ahead. Somebody says to lock you online. Go ahead.
Meaning he don't believe in the truth, so he's not providing leadership for his household.
Right, exactly, man. You know what I mean? Because the truth tell you what? That you gotta teach. The truth tell you that you gotta teach those that are without. You gotta teach your household. You gotta teach other people. So how do you believe in the truth if you can't even teach your own household, man? You know what I mean? You in your mind, you don't even want to teach them. Now, there's a difference between you teaching them and maybe you just got a woman that don't want to listen. She don't want to hear whatever the hell you got to say. You understand? But you correct her and you still scrutinize her for doing what she do. You understand? That's a difference. But now, this is talking about you just don't want to teach her at all. You know what I mean? You just leave me alone. You know what I mean? That's how you know it's not talking about being a financial standpoint, because what if somebody just don't have a job that make enough money? You know what I mean? What if somebody they went to prison, they got out of prison, the only job that they can really find is a job working at McDonald's or Walmart for $10, and that's just not enough money. So you telling me that now they infidel, they as if they don't believe in the truth because they don't make enough money? That makes no sense, man. We know what about Christ? Christ ain't have no money, man. He rode on a donkey, man. You know what I mean? He didn't have a house. So if that's the case, if it's talking about financials, then what? Christ should be an infidel, huh? Right. You know what I mean? That's how you know it's not talking about financials, man. Because no matter how much money you make, it ain't got nothing to do with you if you believe in the truth or not. But if you don't provide the truth to your family, then that would be an infidel, man. You understand? Go ahead.
Mr. Like, sir, it's heavy what you're saying, because basically you're looking at that, they're telling you, and it's a subconscious thing that they're using, to where it's saying, in the Christian concept, if you don't have the funds, or if you can't provide financially,
right,
you aren't worthy of having a family. So any man who works at McDonald's or works some sort of 9 to 5, and he's making $10, $11, $12 an hour, it's telling him, well, you aren't worthy, so therefore you shouldn't have a family. Right.
That's exactly what the Christian pastor leads on to say. You understand? Or these fake Israelite groups. Go ahead.
What you just brought out in that verse is so heavy, and I would have never thought that, you know what I'm saying, to look at it that way that you just put it out there, you know what I'm saying. Most High and Christ for Commander General Yahanna for teaching the truth, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
What I just heard you say, you know what I'm saying, is basically the reason our community is the way it is. The black man, the Hispanic man, and the Native American man do not want to take responsibility for their nation. They want somebody else to do it. Instead of teaching, you know what I'm saying, teaching our women, teaching our children the right thing, we would prefer, you know what I'm saying, somebody else to do it. And we see how that has gotten us, you know what I'm saying. We see where we at right now.
Right, you
we
absolutely.
got the records, and we look back at it, all the one, you know what I'm talking about, and everything that we see, you know, in the records, it aligns. Every time we go off and try to listen at somebody else's doctrine, we fall off. Whenever we try to let somebody else teach our people, we fall off. And right now, we done failed completely all to the point we exiled from our land, you know what I'm saying? And people done got so comfortable in that situation of not educating the family at home, you know what I'm saying? It really destroyed our, you know, it helped destroy our community, along with integration and the rest of the things that you know, these oppressors put out here. So y'all don't want.
Right, you absolutely right, because we want to go to our oppressor in Christianity to teach our family. You know what I mean? Knowing damn well it's destroying us. We want to go to the Arabs and learn be a Muslim and how that teach our family. So you're absolutely right about that. Go ahead.
It's like, so just to add to what he's saying, yeah, we have a responsibility in it, but ultimately it is our oppressor's fault for this, because he taught this, he pushed this, because the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, they want to take care of their family. They want to be able to, but because it's been pushed on them to move a certain type of way, therefore they don't. It's not that they don't want to do it, they've been made so that they can't do it, and then inadvertently then having to go to their oppressor so they can do it.
Right, you're absolutely right about that, but what are we doing now in this school?
Well, we're doing it ourselves.
We are doing it, so you can do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You definitely put the blame on our oppressors for putting us in these conditions, man. You understand? Putting Christianity on you,
But
forcing
not
you
all
with the sword. Hold your peace 1 second. Forcing us with the sword to, you know what I mean, to follow Christianity. But you can do it, man. You understand? Because we're doing it in here, man. You just take some integrity. It just take you being a man. You know what I mean? It's easier to allow somebody else to run it and you just, you know, fall in line. But when you want to do it yourself, it takes strength, man. And that's what we need to put back into the Black, Hispanic, and Native American man. We need to put strength back into him, man. You have to rule your household, man. You have no choice, man. It's either a do or die situation. You know, when people talk about vote or die, either rule your house or die, man.
Right.
You understand? Because if you don't, that's what it's going to lead to. It's going to lead to the destruction of your nation, man. You understand? The Lord wanted the black man to be in every household, man. Just like Commander General Yahanna said, man. You understand? So when it comes to this truth, you have to teach your people, man. You have to teach your family. You understand? That's why I brought out this scripture, because if you allow your woman to be over you, that's like being worse than an infidel, man. Because you're not teaching her the truth. You're allowing her to believe a lie, man. You're allowing her to be a Christian. You understand? To where she feel like she have power over you. A woman should not feel like she have any type of power over you.
Right.
You understand? The only power that a woman should have over you is what? Somebody could tell me? What power should a woman have over you?
So like y'all the one.
Go ahead.
It's only her feminine wild, that thing, you know what I'm saying, the thing that you want, you know what I'm talking about?
Right, exactly. Meaning that just being humble and meek. That's the power that she got over a man. You know what I mean? Being humble.
Right.
You know? You might have did something wrong, but she's like, you know, she being humble, she being nice. She like, damn, you know what I mean? I messed up. That's how a woman is able to get over on a man. That's not, I won't say get over on a man, but that's how a woman is able to convince a man of what's right. You know what I mean? Not challenging him, not going against him, not stepping up on his, you know what I mean? Stepping up as if you're a man. Man don't take susceptible to that. As a matter of fact, that gets me to my next verse. Give me 1 Peter 3:7. Give me 1 Peter chapter 3. Start at verse 1.
Come on. The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husband.
Right. It say, likewise, you wives, be in subjection to who?
Your own husband.
Everybody.
Your own husband.
Hot girl summer.
Your own husband.
Man, you gotta be in subjection to your own husband, man. You can't be listening to other men. You understand? If your husband tell you to do something, you do it. You know what I mean? Long as it's lawful, of course. We know it has to be lawful. Right. But if your husband tell you to do something, you can't look at another man and try to get some advice. You know what I mean? You can't get advice from your homosexual male friend, man.
Right.
You understand? You definitely can't do that. I know women love to do that. They love to get a second opinion from their homosexual male friend. He don't like women no way. What make you think he gonna tell you what's right? You understand? Read that from the top again. Go ahead.
Kind of the water, sir, if I may. Excellent points being brought out. You know, the female's power and her wisdom is through her feminine craftiness. If I may, kind of like, you know, Abigail was how she charmed David, and Salaki also, you know, Esther, how she helped save the people,
right?
And Hosanna, and the list goes on. Salaki.
Right, yeah, exactly. The list go on. You're absolutely right. You understand? Just like those sisters, man, who use their feminine ways to help their people or to help the situation or to get their point across. You know, maybe a woman want to get her point across and she might be right. You know what I mean? You might just be hard-headed. You understand? The way she get that across is by being a woman, man. Right. Not by trying to step toe-to-toe to you and thinking in her mind she going to tell you what the hell to do. You know what I mean? Look, as a man just having masculinity, I'll be all the way wrong. If you step to me as if a man, I'm just gonna be all the way wrong. Hell, you know, the hell with it. Because men don't take that lightly. That's not something that we just be like, okay, you know what I mean? It's not. It's in men to battle. It's in men to be masculine, man. Right. So when you don't have that in you, then you destroying your nation, man. You understand? You destroying your people, man. And you worse than an infidel, like the scriptures say, man. Because it's in you to be masculine. You understand? But read that from the top again.
Come on, the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 1. Likewise, ye wives. Right. Be in subjection to your own husband.
Right. Women got to be in subjection to their own husband, man, not somebody else's husband. What's the, damn, I just knew the dude name. What's that dude name that used to always talk about women? You know, Darren Jackson, right? There you go. That was something that just happened. That man, Darren Jackson used to drag niggas through the mud, man. You know what I mean? He used to talk so much crap on dudes, man. Being a simp. You know what I mean? And used to always drag niggas through the mud. And what recently happened with him? He get dragged through the mud because he. Go ahead.
Now he's getting dragged through the mud.
Right, he getting dragged through the mud because he so-called cheated on his woman. Now we know you can have multiple women, but in their Christian mind, that's you know what I mean, that's unacceptable.
Right.
So you know you have a man like that that's dragging niggas through the mud, and now you know what I mean he found cheat on his wife. Now he getting dragged through the mud, man. You understand? Meaning that a woman got to, you know what I mean. Read that from the top again.
Come on, the book of 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
Right, but that's because he didn't have a wife that was in subjection to him, man. You understand? You got to have a. Go ahead.
So like I said, if I could, forgive me. How you just said, how a wife has to be in subjection to her husband, and one of the reasons why I think, if I'm correct, the main reason why this so-called love guru, Derek Jackson, is now being exposed is because of his other quote-unquote wife was not in subjection under him, and she essentially was tired of his actions and his behaviors, and she went and exposed she exposed his dealings to the internet.
Right. See, I ain't even watched the video, so you know what I mean. If you know more on it, then Thawada for elaborating. I ain't watched the video, but I seen that. Go ahead.
If I may, I believe I just heard Officer Hadar Amar. What I heard him say was, you know what I'm saying, that he bit out more than what he could chew. You know what I'm saying. His eye was bigger than his stomach. You know what I'm talking about, so to speak. What my grandmama used to tell me back in the day when I was hungry. And what he did what any other black man would do, but instead of being honest and telling the truth, like we talked about earlier, you know what I'm saying, like he simped out. You know what I'm talking about? He was a coward. You know what I'm saying? He was in purple, so to speak.
Right. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, you will have situations like that when you're not ahead of your household, man. You know what I mean? And when you're trying to put down men, you're trying to emasculate men as if they're supposed to be susceptible to their woman. You understand? That's the spirit that he puts out. He puts out a spirit of a man has to do what a woman wants them to do. You understand? And that's when you'll find yourself in a situation like that. When you're trying to do whatever to please your woman, the minute that you do something that woman is not acceptable to, then you'll get dragged through the mud, man. You understand? The minute that he go get, now if he had a masculine spirit and believe that he can get another woman, well then who the hell cares? You know what I mean? It wouldn't be that big of a deal. But because he put the facade of, you know what I mean, a happy wife is a happy life. You know what I mean? A man has to do this and that, and he had to pay the bills and he had to do all that. And then he just shows that he's no different than, you know what I mean? Right. Any man that believes that he should have multiple women, you know what I mean? Right. Then that's why he's getting dragged through the mud, man, because you can't allow a woman to be over you. You can't give a woman that much power, man. Right. You understand? Go ahead.
So like I said, if I could, also, the thing about this Derek Jackson is if you put it in perspective, he comes off just as a motivational speaker,
right?
Or your basic popular Christian pastor, who essentially is telling you the smooth words, telling you the things that you want to hear,
right,
to keep you coming back to it.
Right, you're absolutely right about that. You understand? We're gonna get back to the scripture. Read it again.
Come on, look at 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1. Likewise, you wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
Right, go ahead.
That if any obey not the word, they also may without the words be won by the conversation of the wives.
Right, what does that mean? Now somebody tell me what that means. Go ahead.
Because she's not being in subjection to her husband and not listening to what he's saying, and then when she goes and she talks to her friends, or her friends are talking to her, they can put stuff in her ear, and then all of a sudden she's won by it.
No. Anybody else want to take a shot? I know you know. Go ahead.
Well, so like I said, honestly, just taking a shot in the dark. Chances are that if he might not be, let's say the husband's not obeying the law, if you will, maybe the wife might remind the husband to get back and to follow the law.
Okay, you on to it. You right there. You close to it.
Salak out of one.
Go ahead.
If I'm reading this correctly, what it's saying is, if that brother ain't in the truth and his wife is in the truth, if she uses her words and her humility correctly, she could win him over into the truth by her conversation. Salak.
That's exactly what it's saying. Read from the top again.
Come on. The book of 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection.
I knew a trooper Yahanna knew it. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Be in subjection to your own husband.
Right. A woman is supposed to be in subjection to her own husband, man. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be in subjection, meaning he has to have rule over you, man. Go ahead.
That if any obey not the word.
Right. Who is the one that's not obeying not the word?
The husband.
That's the husband. So if any, meaning that if the husband is not obeying the word, meaning he ain't in the truth, or maybe he's doing some sin, eating pork. Let's just use eating pork as an example, right? You know what I mean? Okay, let's say he eating pork. What would a Christian like to do? Let's say if a Christian was like, oh, we got to follow the laws, but they was trying to tell their husband and he eating pork. What would they do? I ain't cooking that damn pork. You know you can't eat it no way. It's in the Bible. They're going to try to pull the scripture on you. That ain't no way that you're going to win over no man. You know what I mean? The man going to be like, what the hell with the Bible? If me following the Bible mean that you can do that to me, the hell with the Bible. That's what they going to say. You know what I mean? It's not in no man's spirit to just have a woman over them like that. You understand? Keep going.
Come on. If any obey not the word, they also mean without the word.
Right, without the word. What does it mean without the word? So if you got the husband, that's the husband that's not obeying the word. Then it says without the word, they may be won over. What does it mean to be without the word? Go ahead.
I think I tried it, sir. They also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives, meaning by the actions of the wives, how they're operating.
Like, explain. You right. You know what I mean? But bring it home. Hold on. Once I'm gonna let
By them operating in the truth, the husband is being sanctified through her, like the scripture says.
Okay, no. You was on to it, but then it's kind of, you was on to it, though. Go ahead, Trooper Azariah.
Cut on count the water, sir, if I may. If I'm not mistaken, someone who fought the word, they're a heathen, or another word, they're an infidel.
No, that's not what it's talking about. It's real simple.
So I got one.
I know he know. Go ahead.
So I got one, if I may, you know what I'm saying? Is he talking about without the word, talking about the truth? You know what I'm saying? He's not subscribing to the truth of what the Bible or what the Most High says.
Okay.
The law says.
Okay, it's not him. This is not him. You know what I mean? It's not him.
Oh, so like y'all one. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, one. I should have said it this way. That woman doesn't have to use the words of the truth to get him to let's say she can't teach him. She can't teach him the word, but she can show him the word by her actions. She can be the one to say, he be like, I want these pork chops, baby. Pick me these pork chops. Well, baby, I don't think we need to eat these pork chops today. Let's try something else. You know what I'm saying? Just by doing something, to make him seem like, make him seem like he's in charge, but it's, at the same time, her using her ways to, let the Most High will be done by not eating the pork. So like,
right, exactly, man. Exactly. Read that from the top again.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1. Likewise, ye wives be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
Right, meaning that if a man does not obey the word, because a woman is so in subjection to her husband, because she's being meek, she's not using the word, man. She don't got to use the scriptures. You know what I mean? Like the brother said, if a man wanted to eat pork, she don't got to pull out the scripture where it tells you to not eat pork. You know what I mean? That's not how a man learns. A man don't learn by a woman teaching him. You know what I mean? The Bible. That's not to say the woman can't teach, but not the Bible. You understand? He's won over by, like the brother said, she's being humble. She's being meek. She's being nice to him. And that's how he's like, okay, you're right. You know what I mean? That's the way that a woman wins. You understand? If you be nice and you be humble, look, ain't no man going to be able to go against that. You know what I mean? Oh, damn, you won. You know what I mean? now I'm being an asshole if I continue to be a jerk. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's that's the way for them to realize, well, damn, I'm in the wrong. You know what I mean? Meaning she don't gotta use the word, man. You know what I mean? Just like the brother said, oh well, I don't want to really cook the pork. Can we try something else? I got something else that I want to make for you. That, boom. You know what?
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want the pork. What you got for me? What you just thinking about a recipe? You know what I'm saying? Now he don't even care about no damn pork.
Right.
He worried about you about to cook this lawful food. You know what I mean? But telling him, oh, you can't eat pork. It's in Leviticus. No, that's you know what I mean? It's not gonna work like that, man. You understand? Woman went over without the word, but that's all dealing with being subjective to your husband, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Meaning that even if you have a man that's not in the truth, you can't be masculine and try to rule over him and tell him what to do. You know what I mean? You also gotta still be humble. You also gotta still show him through that meekness. He gonna be like, well, why the hell you so humble and meek? Why you so nice? Why you so? Well, because I learned in this Bible, the scriptures, taught me. He gonna be like, okay, well, let me learn more about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hadar be the one to tell you that. Hadar be the one to tell you that.
Right.
You understand? Keep going.
Come on, verse 2. While they behold your chaste conversations
Right.
coupled with fear.
And that's how you know that it's talking about that, because it said the chaste. What does it mean to be chaste? Chaste. It's chaste. What does it mean to be chaste? Go ahead.
It's like I said, it mean like to be
To lock y'all
smooth,
along.
timid, just like really bruised.
Right, like timid, like nice, like, you know what I mean? It's like timid. It's like, soft. You understand? It's nice. You understand? So with they nice conversation, with they, being soft. I'm not trying to be masculine and arguing and, you know what I mean, going and challenging the man. You understand? That's how you know it's talking about the woman, how she speaks to a man, and that's how she's able to win over the conversation. Go ahead.
Come on, verse 3. Whose adorning let
No.
it not.
Well, verse 2, my bad, Salakia.
Come on, verse 2. While they behold your chaste conversations coupled with fear.
Right, you understand? Meaning that when a man hear that child's conversation, he like, damn, I'm wrong. You know what I mean? The fear of the Lord come in him. You understand? Oh, damn, you're right. That was wrong for me to eat that pork. You understand? That's how they'll realize, man. That's how you'll bring your husband over to realization. You understand? Not challenging him, man. You understand? You challenge your brother. What's normally going to happen when you challenge a brother or challenge a man, even if you're right, he's going to be farther wrong. You know what I mean? He, at that point, it's the hell with it. You know what I mean? They'll be wrong just to be wrong.
Right.
You understand? Because they don't want to do what? They don't want to submit to their woman. Man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's how a man should be. He should never want to submit to his woman. Never. You understand? Even if you're wrong, you just be wrong. Hell. You know what I mean? But if you have that Chaz conversation, when you start to be nice to him, it's easier for a man to be like, I'm wrong, baby. My bad. You know what I mean? I apologize. You understand? Because then what? We can go back to being good. We can go back to, you know what I mean?
Right.
Being all in a happy, you know what I mean? Watching movies, this and the third, but after arguing, it's like, nah, like, you know what I mean? You ready to get out the damn house. You understand? Keep going.
Come on,
Verse 3.
the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 3, Salakia.
Ain't no sweat. Somebody can pick it up real quick.
Come on,
I got it, sir.
Oh, you got it? All right, go ahead.
Come on.
No, I'm going to let he got it. Go ahead.
Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting their hair.
Right, plaiting the hair, what's that? Braids, go ahead.
Come on, and of wearing of gold.
And of wearing gold, that's jewelry, go ahead.
Come on, or of putting on of apparel.
Putting on apparel, how they dress, you know what I mean? Dressing nice. Now, is that saying that a woman can't do that? So what is it saying?
Salakia, sir, man. It's saying that you can do these things.
It's saying you can do it? That's what it's saying? It's saying do them?
To lock y'all the one.
Read from the top again. Hold on one second. I'm going to let you go. Go on. Read from the top again.
Come on, verse 3. Whose adorning.
Right, who's adorning? What does it mean to adorn?
Like it's to like my neck.
Go ahead.
To adore something, you like it.
Adorn? Go ahead.
Correct. Adorning is like to decorate.
Right, to decorate. You understand? To adorn is to make something more beautiful, more attractive. You understand? Like that's what it means to adorn something. So when it says who is adorning, meaning for a woman to be beautiful, to make themselves a beautiful, go ahead.
Let it not be that outward adorning.
It said let it not be. You said that means that they can do it. It said let it not be. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Keep going.
Of plaiting their hair.
Right. Don't let it be the your adorning when you make yourself beautiful. For a woman to make herself beautiful, don't let it be plaiting the hair. Go ahead.
Come on. And of wearing of gold.
And of wearing the gold.
Or putting on of apparel.
And of putting on apparel. So that means they can't do it?
Salakia.
Go ahead.
It doesn't mean that they can't do it, but it's saying don't let that be the reason for.
Hey, Mongo, you give me.
I'm trying to, don't let that be the reason that gets the man's attention.
Go ahead.
So like I said, if I could, no, you can't. No, a woman cannot do this if she is trying to be in subjection under her man.
You said she can't do this.
And if she is, okay, essentially, like if she's trying to show that she's that she is under subjection, in subjection under her man. This isn't necessarily the way to do it. Because I think the scripture is going to answer if we continue.
Right, but that's not what it's talking about. Somebody else want to try?
So like y'all, the one if I may.
Go ahead.
What verse 3 is saying is that, yeah, she can put them clothes on, she can put the jewelry on, she can look real good. But you know what I'm saying, that's not going to be the determining factor on you doing what you're supposed to do. It got to be what's on the inside of her. You know what I'm talking about? Her outward apparel and all that stuff don't matter. It's how she obeys the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what matters. That's why I said let it not be that outward adorning. Don't let that catch your attention. What needs to catch your attention is how she keeps those laws, statutes, and commandments. So
Okay, that's like what Hadar said, right? You know what I mean? Meaning like, okay, don't allow that to be what makes you, you know what I mean, to, submit to your husband. Or what y'all saying is right, we're going to read it from the top. Are you just, go ahead.
If I could, sir, he's just saying, like, man, don't let Shirley fool you because she doing what you like.
Kinda, go ahead, read it from the top. Y'all all right. You know what I mean? Y'all all right. Go ahead.
1 Peter 3:3. Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair, and of wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparel.
Right, just like how y'all said, don't allow that to be what makes you beautiful. You know what I mean? To just make it real simple. Don't allow that what makes you, like what y'all was saying is right, but y'all was getting deep into it. You make it real simple. You know what I mean? Don't allow that to be what make you beautiful. Adorned means to make something beautiful, right? So don't be like, you know how women do. They go out, you go out, right? And you see women and you be like, goodness gracious. You know what I mean? But that's because they done put on the gold, they done did their hair, they done got some nice weave or some they got a nice weave in their head, they got the braids in their head. I mean, no, they just got the plaits in their head. You know what I mean? They got they put on a nice little apparel. Hopefully it's modest, you know what I mean? But they put on a nice little apparel to make sure that, it makes you look like them when you look good. That doesn't mean you can't do it, but don't let that be what make you beautiful. That's what a lot of people like to think in their mind. Like, well, I look in the mirror and I see I'm beautiful. You know what I mean? Well, according to the scripture, you're not. If what? Keep going.
Come on. Verse 4. But let it be the hidden man of the heart.
Right, the hidden man of the heart. What's that? Well, why does it say a hidden man? Because you can't see it, man. That's the thing that's hidden. Don't let your beauty be what's on the outside, the outward appearance of what you look like. You know what I mean? So many times a man will look at a woman, and because she look beautiful or pretty to the eyes, they'll think, oh yeah, I need to be with her. Oh, that's this and that and the third. But inside, she's a damn monster. You understand? Go ahead.
It's like, so that's what I was going to say, that you can see a whole lot of them and be like, oh, she's beautiful until she opens her mouth.
Right.
until you get that, catch that spirit that's on her. You know, that's one of the reasons why, of course, myself, I try to be as patient as possible because it's definitely not always about the looks.
Right, and a lot of times, especially in this society that we have, that and with the social media, the Instagram, you know what I mean, all that stuff that's going on, it be the pretty ones that be the most dragons.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they know in their mind, they feel like in their mind, oh, I can get any man, I can do it. You know what I mean? They got that type of stigma on them, so they feel like they can just do whatever the hell they want. They can use their looks to get out of trouble. They can use their looks for this, that, and the third. So those be the biggest monsters, man. You understand? But the scriptures say, don't let that be your beauty, man, because that's not beautiful. You understand? It may be attractive, but it's not beautiful. What's beautiful is that is on the inside, man.
Right.
What someone can't see. That's in your heart. That's how you act, man. You understand? That's how you carry yourself. That's the spirit that you have. That's what should be a woman's beauty, man. So when you look at a woman that you might not look at her as attractive to you, you know what I mean, facial wise. But little do you know that woman is beautiful because she might be humble. She might be meek. You know what I mean? She might be nice to you. That's what's needed, man. You know what I mean? You can get you a attractive woman all you want, but she'll destroy you, man. She can destroy you easily, quick. You understand? So many men fall weak to a woman just because she look good. Knowing damn well they're dealing with a dragger. She like, where the money at? You know what I mean? If you don't do this, then nigga, you gotta go.
Right.
You understand? You was gonna say something, Michael?
No,
All right, no sweat. You understand? Keep going.
Come on, God. In that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit.
There you go. You know what I mean? That is what's not corruptible. That inner in them, man. They spirit that they have on them. What they do. You understand? Going off of looks ain't everything, man.
Right.
You understand? You gotta be humble. That's as a woman. You gotta be able to submit. You understand? What's better, a woman that the world may not deem as attractive, but she's humble, or a woman that the world deem as attractive, but she's a damn dragon?
So that's easy.
Right. You know what I mean? The woman that the world may not deem as attractive, but she's humble, man. Right. And the reason why I say the world is because we know that the so-called Caucasian man like to pit what he thinks as attractive and not attractive. Right. That's why you got so many sisters getting blonde hair. Right. You know what I mean? But I deem that as unattractive. That's not attractive if a woman has blonde hair, man. You understand? What's the point of dyeing your hair blonde? The black looks better. Right. You understand? So that's why I'm going off of what the world deems as attractive, because, you know what I mean? Go ahead.
And so, like, sir, if I may, it's heavy what we're bringing out, because I know with myself, with me taking my time, I've dealt with and spoken to several women, but what I find is now being in the truth, I was able to do this a little bit, not in the truth, but I wasn't dealing with sisters. But now, being in the truth, I'm able to catch the spirit on these women. Right. So the second I hear, it's actually, I can hear a tone in their voice.
That's what it's.
I can catch an argumentative spirit just from the tone of their voice.
Right.
And then I'll know, I'm like, you know what, nah, never mind. And then sure enough, it'll come out.
Right. And like you said, the tone is one of the key things, man. The looks, the haughty look, you know what I mean, that proud look that they have on them. And then the tone of how they speak. You know what I mean? They don't speak soft and humble. They speak strong. Like, you like, damn, you know what I mean? They speaking like they trying to tell that, like, they in their mind, they telling you what to do. You understand? You're absolutely right about that. You know what I mean? We're going to keep reading, though.
Come on, God. Which is in the sight of God of great price. Right,
meaning that for a woman to be humble and meek in the sight of the Lord, that's great, man. That's valuable. You understand? Not your looks, not your appearance, not because you can go in the mirror and put a whole bunch of makeup on and look good, man. You understand? The Lord don't deem that as valuable. Right. You understand? What's valuable is are you meek? Are you humble? You know what I mean? Do you have chaste conversation? You understand? Are you in subjection to your own husband? You understand? Not a man that's willing to throw money at you, but your own husband. Go ahead.
Come on, verse 5. For after this manner, in the old time, the holy women also, who trusted in God, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
Right, just like how Adar said. You understand? They didn't adorn themselves. They didn't show that they was in subjection by their looks. They did it according to how they act. You know what I mean? That's how the holy woman did of old times. They adorned them. The way they made themselves beautiful, wasn't about putting on no gold, no jewelry, and that's not to say that they didn't do that. Yeah, they did that. You know what I mean? Sometimes a man want to look at his woman and be like, damn. You know what I mean? So of course they did that, but in their mind they didn't do it as if, you understand? Oh, I'm about to show that I'm beautiful. You know what I mean? They did it in the sense I'm just gonna look good for my man. I'm about to, you know what I mean? You know, make him want me more.
Right.
You understand? But if they wanted to make them beautiful, they wanted to make themselves be known or be beautiful, they was just in subjection, man. You understand? They just followed their husband. You know, they told their husband, "Con, I'm on con." Yes, Lord. And keep going.
Come on, come on. Verse 6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham.
Right. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, man. They give you an example now of how Sarah was obeying Abraham. That's how she made herself beautiful. You understand? Not being in control, not being over a man. Go ahead.
Whose daughters ye are.
Right. And if you were a daughter of Zion, shouldn't you be the daughters of Sarah?
Right.
You know what I mean? Meaning that when we go back to our lineage, when we draw our lineage back to who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Right.
So if you were a daughter, yes, you were a daughter of Abraham, but wouldn't you be a daughter of Sarah? Did not Sarah give birth to Israel?
Right.
You know what I mean? She gave birth to us. So you should be a daughter of Sarah, right? Go ahead.
Come on, come on. As long as ye do well.
Right, as long as you do well, though. That means that you got to be humble, man. Go ahead.
And are not afraid with any amazement.
Right, what does it mean to be not afraid of any amazement? Stumped you, didn't it? Go ahead. Hold on, Officer Hadar going.
Would there be any new doctrine to convince you otherwise, to make it sound like you should not necessarily be in subjection to your husband, but perhaps be equal to him?
That's exactly what it's talking about, man. You understand? Because think about it in these times, right? You got a sister. Think about it this times, right? You got a sister that's in the truth, that's following the truth, all for it, in subjection to her husband. You know what I mean? Now, I'm going to put this out there. She might not be happy that you got another wife, but guess what? She know that you can do it, and she don't cause no problems.
Right.
Because we know the scriptures say, you know, be angry, but sin not. So a woman might not be happy. We know the scriptures say, that's what the scriptures say. So a woman might not necessarily be happy that you got another rib. Like, she might not be like, yay, sister, you know. She might not be happy like that. But you know what? She stays in her lane. She don't cause no problems. And she, you know what I mean? She focus more on y'all relationship rather than what the hell you doing when you can do it lawfully.
Right.
You understand? So what Hadar said was right, man. You understand? Meaning that she's not in amazement because of these new doctrines out there. Because you got a sister that's doing that, and somebody out in the world might be like, well, damn, girl, you what the hell? He got another woman. No, like it's as if it's some rare thing. You understand? She's not amazed by that. She's not like, well, maybe I shouldn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? She's comfortable in what she's doing. She knows that what she's doing is righteous. What she's doing is right. You understand? Go ahead.
Come on, sir. Saying that was heavy. What you said about the angry and sin not. Because some sisters will really push that to the women. They'll be angry, but they won't sin, but they'll be angry. And they'll use that very verse that you just said for why they act the way they act.
Hey, see, but even when you acting the way you act, is, you know what I mean? Be angry and sin not. That don't do with your actions. You know what I mean? You still acting according to how you should act.
Right, come on.
You know what I mean? Now, like I said, you may be mad, you know what I mean, but you bottle it up and you do what you're supposed to do. And you focus on your own relationship. That's what that means. You know what I mean? With be angry and sin not. You understand? Meaning, like, for instance, us. We angry at the so-called oppressor for all the murders that we doing.
Right.
But we don't grab guns and go fight him.
Right.
You understand? It's the same thing. But yeah, you absolutely right, man. You was gonna say something, Michael?
I was just gonna say, like, is it also like just like a form of intimidation, maybe?
What you mean? Explain.
Like, don't be afraid of the intimidation. You know what I'm saying?
Right, like, because they'll intimidate you or peer pressure you, acting like you shouldn't do what you're supposed to be doing. That's absolutely right. You understand? Don't be amazed by that. Go ahead.
Also, Salakia, sir, just speaking with a brother about this right here not long ago, and he was saying that you know, the rib, or X-rib, whatever you want to call her, her issue would be that once she went and talked to her friends, they would be like, oh, he got another wife, what you mean?
Right. That's exactly what it's talking about.
Right.
That's exactly what it's talking about. You know what I mean? You're not amazed. You're not willing to bend for the truth because of somebody else coming to you with a contrary doctrine.
Right.
Or telling you that that's not what you're supposed to do. Or don't. Why you accepting that? You know what I mean? So somebody told that to Sarah. Sarah be like, that's my Lord. You know what I mean? I ain't got nothing. Oh, who the hell you talking? You know what I mean? You go destroy another household, not this one. You know what I mean? That's how the woman should be, man. You understand? You should know that. Look, those friends that's talking, they can't keep a man. They got 3, 4 baby daddies. You know what I mean? They don't know what the hell a relationship is. But meanwhile, you at home with a good relationship, with children that's growing up, raising up strong, and you know what I mean? He got another woman. They want to try to act like as if your house is destroyed. You know what I mean? Girl, go get a man and keep him. You know what I mean? Don't worry about what's going on over here. That's how Sarah was, man. Read it from the top again.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord,
Right.
whose daughters ye are.
Right. That means that women should be calling their man's Lord, man.
Right.
You understand? They should be calling them man's Lord. You know what I mean? You gotta look at it as your man. Your man is damn near your power, man. You know what I mean? You serving your man. Your man serving Christ and serving the Lord. But you serve your man. That's how you serve the Most High.
Right.
By serving your man. You want to serve the Most High? You will serve your man. That's how the Lord made it. Go ahead.
As long as you do well and are not afraid with any amazement.
Right. You can't be afraid either, man. You can't be intimidated into following a lie. You understand? You can't listen to your friends because your friends tell you something else and you following them, you listening to them over your man. Go ahead.
Verse 7. Hold on, select sir. Oh yeah.
You're right.
Verse 7.
Yeah, you're right.
Likewise, ye husbands.
Right. And this is where it goes into the husbands as well, man. You know what I mean? Just like we were said in the beginning with Genesis, how Adam was punished. You understand? We know how a woman should do, but we also need to understand the roles of a man as well. Go ahead.
Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge.
Right. It says dwell with them according to knowledge. Go ahead.
Giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel.
Right. What does that mean? Go ahead.
Hey, come, if I could, sir. Okay, the part where it say, dwell with them according to knowledge.
Right.
To me, that sounds like, you know how you go to school and you take the little CRCT test to see where you at?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, you deal with a woman, it's the same thing, you see where she at. So you just peak game on her, push to the limit, then you find her limit, and now you just rock with it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Not necessarily. Keep going, though. Okay, not necessarily. Anybody want to give it a shot? It said, "Dwell with them according to knowledge." What knowledge are you? What knowledge are you dwelling to them according to? Go ahead.
The truth. You're operating in the truth.
Read the verse.
Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife.
Right. So you're dwelling them according to knowledge, giving honor to the wife. Go ahead.
As unto the weaker vessel.
As unto the weaker vessel. Now, what knowledge are you dwelling with her according to? You understanding that she's what?
You understand?
Go ahead.
You understand the I.S.U.P.K, the knowledge that you get from Commander General?
Go ahead. What you gonna say?
You understand that she's the weaker vessel.
You understand that she's the weaker vessel, man. Now, yeah, we know we teaching her the truth, but you understand that she's the weaker vessel, so you have to give honor to her. What does that mean? That means that you helping her out. You understand? That means that you'll know that it's sometimes that because she's the weaker vessel, she might crack, she might break, she might have her moments of where she, spaz out or, do whatever. You understand? And you dwell on her understanding this. This is what you understand. This is what you know because she's the weaker vessel. So when she does this, you're there to, bring her up. You're there to build her up. You're there to help her out. You're there to stick with her. You know what I mean? You don't just throw her to the side. You don't just forget about her. You don't just, okay, damn, you don't listen. I don't care about you no more. Leave me the hell alone. You understand?
I like it.
Go ahead.
Come. The water, sir. Let's know we can use real quick, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the first, and this is the first of the commandments that we love thy brother. Or you love your sister knowing that, she's a weaker vessel, and you got to help her and bring her up, like you're saying, like Proverbs, 9 and 10. That's right.
Right, that's absolutely right, man. You understand? You definitely could use that. That's the knowledge that you got to dwell with her according to it. Now, yeah, we know that is the truth because that is the truth. That's what the truth teaches. Go ahead.
Like I said, I could. Also, dealing with her according to knowledge and giving honor her to the wife, as a weaker vessel, you learn you learn her shortcomings, and you understand that as the man and as the head, that not to always, possibly to not always rule with a rod of iron, but be gentle at times and understanding. For instance, like when it comes to like childbirth,
Right.
you'll show mercy. When it comes to her menstrual cycle, you'll show mercy and give honor to her and to help her out, and also to keep that lead, and also help her to keep her under subjection unto you.
Right, exactly. Meaning that, whatever is her shortcomings, you help her out in those situations. You know what I mean? You deal with her according to the knowledge, and you do what you can to help her. You know what I mean? And it might not necessarily be childbearing or, menstrual cycles, but it could be. It could be something else. You know what I mean? Maybe they deal with getting along with people. Who knows what the hell they deal with. You know what I mean? Women deal with a lot. You understand? And so you got to understand that, and you got to be there to help them. You understand? Somebody says Salakia?
I don't want I made heaven that you bring out, right? Precept that one of the very first scriptures you brought up, Genesis 3:16. Knowledge of, knowing what happened in the garden and how the Most High punished the woman. We got to deal wisely with her, and how we gonna carry on that life. So
I couldn't really hear you. It sounded like you was kind of breaking up a little bit. I heard a little bit of it, but I couldn't hear exactly what you said.
So look, y'all, if I may, can you hear me now?
No, it's the same.
Can you hear me now? I don't know. Can you hear me all right?
Like I can hear you, but it just sounds a little like distorted.
So like I said, what is the brief that he wants to use? That's what I'm trying
So look, I don't want to just hold my point.
All right, no sweat. All right, what precept did you want to use?
Genesis 3:16.
Okay, and what about Genesis 3:16? You heard me? What about Genesis 3:16?
So like I said, he wanted to. He had said like the phone's going out. He wanted to use that in the as precept to piggyback what I was saying as far as like some of the things to deal with your woman according to knowledge. He gave a scripture as an example.
Right, yeah, you could use that. You understand? Genesis 3:16. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to give your woman the leeway to do whatever the hell she want, but you're supposed to correct her and help her in that situation. You understand? So you could use that if that's what you were saying. I'm not sure. Your phone was a little distorted. But is that it on that?
Lie, sir.
Go ahead.
Finish the verse, sir. It's unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
Right, meaning that you got to help your woman out, man. If you don't, and you just decide that you want to be at war with her and to hell with her, then your prayers will be hindered, man.
Right.
You understand? Because she's giving that same grace that you got. She got time to get it right too, man. And she's a weaker vessel, so it might be a little harder for her to get right than it was for you.
Right.
You might find it easier for you. Not easier, but you might find it wasn't as difficult as it was for her. You know what I mean? But you got to give her that leeway, and you just got to keep dealing with her, man. You can't be like, you know what I mean, IUIC and just leave your woman when she don't please you.
Right.
And put her away. You know what I mean? You can't be like that. You can't be like other Israelite groups that just, you tired of a woman, and then, since you don't listen, I can just get another one and get rid of you. You know what I mean? That's adultery, man.
Right.
You understand? You got to be with that woman. You got to stick it out with her. You got to keep hoping, you know what I mean? Keep fighting and keep helping her until it get better, man. If it don't get better, look, you're just going to have to keep doing it.
Right.
You understand? Give me, what time is it? Give me 1 Corinthians 14 and 34. We're going to finish it off with this one.
14, sir?
Yeah, 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 34.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 34. Let your woman keep silence in the churches.
Right, it said let them be silent in the churches. Go ahead.
Come on, God. For it is not permitted unto them to speak.
Because they cannot speak. Go ahead.
Come on, God. But they are commanded to be under obedience.
Right, they were demanded to be under obedience. Go ahead. That's it?
Last sir.
Go ahead.
As also saith the law.
Right, that's what the law say.
Right.
You understand? Now, I want somebody to break this down to me. Does this mean that a woman can't speak? Like when they in class, they just can't say nothing. You got to be quiet, shut. I just want a yes or a no. Go ahead.
Last sir.
Right, yeah, I was in, so like, y'all gotta forgive me. I did, when I was trying to come into the truth and find the truth, I did one class in IUIC, one class. And them women was quiet, boy. They couldn't speak. They couldn't say a goddamn thing. The spirit was all off with them Christians, man. You understand? And it was, I seen some weird shit, Salakia. And that one day going there, I never went back. I couldn't. It's like, someone was like, if this is the truth, then I don't want no part of it.
Most High Christ.
You know what I mean? But that's not what this mean, man. You understand? Other fake Israelite Christian groups, they believe that this means that, you know what I mean, that a woman can't say nothing in class. This is not what this means. Somebody want to break it down for me? Go ahead.
Well, this right here isn't allowing the woman to speak. I believe there's a precept to this, sir, that says that you can be silent, but you need to go to your husband if you have questions or something you need to say.
So what if a woman was in a class, right, and they got a husband in the class, and the teacher asked a question and the woman knew the answer? Could she not say the answer, or could she not say anything?
Salakia.
Go ahead.
She can't answer.
Right. Go ahead.
Hey, Salakia, sir, if I could, just you know what I'm saying, just piggybacking off the women I deal with, I notice when I be talking to them, like, it could be a regular conversation, we could keep keying out that. It's like they naturally just nourish it, so it's like they always want to feel like they just trying to teach you some shit. So it's like don't even talk, because you go say something about your mouth like you're trying to teach me, and that ain't what it is.
Right. That's what it do. I know exactly what you're trying to say. That's what it do. Go ahead.
Salakia, if I could, as far as like being in church or with the congregation, saying that they're not permitted to speak, like they cannot take the lead on this. They cannot try to teach the scriptures.
Right. Clear cut. That's what it's talking about. You gotta understand what was going on in Corinth during when Paul went there. What was going on? Anybody know? Women was teaching. He was going to the synagogues. He was going to the temples, and it was women teaching the Bible. Just like how you go to your Christian church now, and there's a woman pastor or a pastoress or whatever the hell they call her. You know what I mean? And she's teaching. That's what was going on. So when Paul said women have to keep silence, he was clear cutting that women can't be teaching the scriptures, man. You know what I mean? You're not about to go into no congregation where you're learning about the Lord and the Bible and a woman's teaching. He like, no, women need to be quiet. Now, if a woman wanted to ask a question or something like that, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You understand? To get some understanding. But as far as teaching, no, hell no, man. You understand? Go ahead, Trooper Azariah.
Kind of concept of water. Excellent points being brought out, and if I may expound just a little further, really heavy. Like last night, the Commander General Yahanna was saying, you got to know your role.
Right.
Just because the woman is a weaker vessel, I don't mean, like IUIC, they take that the wrong way. They say the woman's a weaker vessel, so, please, he says, please put on a strap on, and they do some crazy stuff.
Right.
So we can't, we got to learn from these African, eaters, man eaters and all that, Slovakia.
You're absolutely right, man. You understand? But that's what this is talking about. It's saying it's giving you a notion that women cannot be in no rulership, man. They can't be no leader, man. Can't be leader of a nation. They can't be a leader of your household, man. It just is. It's not a offense to a woman. You understand? You shouldn't want to be a leader of the household. It's a lot of responsibility.
Right.
You know what I mean? You are responsible for what happened to your children. You understand? If you don't do what you're supposed to do, your children go out there and commit a crime and kill someone, go to jail. That's on you. You didn't raise them right, man.
Right.
You understand? You got a 8-year-old, 10-year-old, whatever, however the hell old Dwayne Wade's son is, wanting to be a girl. That's on you, man. That's your parenting skills, man.
Right.
You understand? Then you have to deal with, are you a bad parent or not? You understand? You rather have a man have that responsibility. It's a lot of responsibility on being the head of a household, man. You understand? So that's what that's talking about. But with that, anybody got any questions? You do?
Just a comment, sir.
Go ahead.
Here's some class, sir.
Oh, ain't no Most High in Christ. All right, well, no questions. With that, we're going to pass the class off to Officer Kasiyah.
These are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K started out of One West.